This video is intended for audiences over the age of 13. If you are not 13 years or older, please click away from this video now. You have been warned. What's going on, you guys? It's your man James, aka JP, back again with another toy room review. And as you can see here, we have the Lego Nintendo Entertainment System set. I did a video a few weeks ago when they revealed this. It came out this morning. I got it first thing this morning. We got it in hand, and this box is huge. So massive, it barely fits in the frame. I had to get a whole new table for this whole setup here. This is crazy. So to get close-ups of this, I'm gonna do some B-roll, but this box just looks amazing. Very reminiscent of the original NES box. Now, I don't have the original NES box, but I do have the NES Classic, which was a recreation of the original NES box. So I will be able to show you guys that off side by side, but just right off the bat, I mean, this looks incredible. I was not expecting the box to be this big. I mean, it is absolutely massive. Like, seeing it on video and in pictures does not do it justice on how big it is. If you guys can see just like my head compared to next to it, but yeah, this packaging is awesome. So you got Nintendo Entertainment System right up here. You got the big picture right on the front that fully shows the set, and of course that little like space background right here, very reminiscent of that original NES set. You have the Lego logo right down here. You can see this is set number 71374, and it has 2,646 pieces, and it is 18 plus for this build. So coming to the top right here, you guys will be able to see the NES again with the cartridge and a little image of an 8-bit Mario right here jumping over some Lego bricks, which is very nice. You have the Nintendo seal of quality right there. And then if you come to the back, you can see again the product shots right here with that space background. Again, very reminiscent of that original NES box. And I like right here how you kind of have like the schematics of everything shown off on the back and all the different action features shown off. And I do like the bottom, how it's kind of just like this gray Lego pattern right there. That's very nice. So you can see lego.com/Super Mario in the corner. And then nice little Easter egg. If you come to the side of the box here, you can actually see an 8-bit Mario jumping over all the different Lego pieces, and it's intertwined with actual video game graphics, which I think is a very nice touch. I like how the Goombas are kind of done in that Lego style, as well as the turtles right there. So that just looks very nice. I like the integration with both the Goombas and the 8-bit pattern and the Lego pattern. All that looks very nice. And again, Nintendo seal of quality right there. So that is gonna do it for the packaging. I hope all that B-roll came out very nice for you guys, but I do want to show off some of the free stuff that you do get with this set, because I got quite a bit of stuff. So let's go ahead and show that off. So I'll get B-roll of the rest of the stuff as well, but we got a 12-in-1 rebuild into set. This is just like some kind of island paradise. You got some flamingos, some pineapples, a sandcastle and whatnot. This is 240 pieces. I got this for free. I'm not sure exactly what the promotion was. I guess if you spend over a certain amount of money, you get some free products with your purchase, and this was $230, $249 after tax, I believe, but that's really cool. And then you also get this Mario Super Mushroom Surprise set, which is a little mini mushroom. Basically, it's just a power brick with the mushroom floating out of it, which is very nice. So this is a small set. It's only 18 pieces. Anybody could build this. It says ages 6+, but I think even kids younger than 6 could build this. And then you also get this little like back to school pencil starter set with a Lego pencil, Lego ruler, and some other little stuff in here. And I didn't get just these 3 items. I got 3 of these 3 items, so 3 of each. I'm not sure why I got so much. I'm not complaining because I'll take free Lego stuff, but it's just very cool that you get all this free stuff with this purchase, which makes the purchase just that much more worth it. That's gonna do it for the packaging. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing assembled. I'm not gonna build it on camera. I will show you guys you know, some of the process through it while we're like halfway through it and whatnot, just what it looks like, how everything's working and whatnot, and then I'll show you guys the final product once I have it fully assembled. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. back. We started this build around 1:15 p.m. and it is now about 11 o'clock p.m. that I am just getting around to finishing it. I've been working at it non-stop. I only took about an hour break to like eat and whatnot, somewhere in between, but I've been working at this all day long and we're finally done. So let's go ahead and take a look at how the build came out, and then I'll wrap up and give you guys my final thoughts and opinions and review of the Lego NES. So before we get into the NES, I did want to show off the booklets really quickly because these things are massive. They're about like 200 and something pages a piece. So this booklet right here is just for the NES controller and cartridge alone. Then you have a whole separate booklet that is another like 250 pages, something like that, just for the TV, which is absolutely crazy. So I did just want to show that off really quickly, but we'll take these and put these to the side and then take a look at the NES. So we'll start with the cartridge, why not? So here is the cartridge and it is absolutely beautiful. So you can see it basically just recreates the NES cartridges, but it is much smaller. It actually pretty much fits in the palm of your hand, but the decal on here is very, very nice. And I'll bring in an NES cartridge in a second just to compare, but you can see right here, I don't know if you guys can really make it out, but I did take some B-roll. You can even see green inside of here for like the motherboard and the pins and whatnot. You can actually see that in there, which is very nice. And then on the back, it's just your typical Lego stuff. I would have liked to see it at least look completed on the back. It is just kind of like open and exposed. I would have liked to see more of this finish that's here on the front on the back, but still very, very nice. And then bringing in a NES cartridge. Here's the original Mario NES cartridge compared, so you can see the similarities and differences right here. The Lego one is missing that little arrow that's right there, but overall, I mean, it looks very, very nice. You look at it, you can tell that it is an NES cartridge, missing Super Mario Brothers on top as well, but still very, very nice. So moving on from the cartridge, getting into the actual NES, here is the controller for it, and this controller looks amazing. It looks incredible. The only thing that I will say is I thought that there was supposed to be like working buttons. Like I thought the buttons were gonna have a spring or something, but they don't. The buttons are stationary. They don't have any kind of feedback or anything when you press them, which is not a deal breaker or anything. I just thought they were gonna have them. But overall, this looks really nice, and this is a 1-to-1 scale replica of the controller. As we bring in a original NES controller right here, you can see it looks very, very nice, very spot on. And actually, this Lego one actually feels heavier than the original one. That's actually pretty funny. This one actually feels extremely lightweight, but this one has some nice weight to it, so that feels very nice. And yeah, still one of the best controllers of all time right here, but this Lego version feels very, very nice. Anyways, moving on here, we have this nice little short wire. This wire is actually like pretty similar to what we saw on the NES Classic remotes, very short, and it's made out of this like weird rubber material that just picks up all the dirt and everything. You can see just like hair attached to it and all types of dirt and whatever. So not a big fan of that, but here's the connector and it's awesome, man. This thing just plugs right in very flawlessly. You can plug it into that slot, or you can just plug it into the number 2 slot. So that is just very, very nice and very seamless. Take that, put that to the side, and here we are looking at the NES, and look at this thing. This thing is just beautiful. Very great attention to detail all throughout. This thing just looks incredible. So my only big complaint is that you have these, everything on the top is smooth, and then you have these 2 bricks right here that are like exposed. I'm not really sure why that is. They don't really serve any purpose. So that is like an eyesore when you just have the rest of this that is a smooth surface. But other than that, I mean, this thing just looks phenomenal. Would have been nice to see some kind of like LED light right here, but obviously, you know, these are Legos. That's asking for a little too much, but the recreation right here is just incredible. It's not exactly a full-size replica of the NES, but it is bigger than the NES Classic, which I'll bring in now. So here's the Lego version on the left and the NES Classic on the right. And another thing I will say is that putting them side by side, the Lego one seems to have a slightly different shade of gray when it comes to the bricks compared to, I think, how the original color is supposed to look. It's not a big deal, not an eyesore or like a deal breaker or anything like that, but you do notice it once you put them side by side. But as you can see, it is actually quite bigger than the NES Classic. I thought this was going to be somewhere around the size of maybe anything just a little bit bigger, but it's actually a very, very big difference between the NES Classic and the Lego version. And then here we have a original NES, and I am running out of space right here, so let me back the camera up just a little bit so you guys can see the size difference. So it's actually not that much smaller than an original NES, and the original NES is actually pretty hefty. Put the Lego one on top right here. But yeah, you can see it's just not that much of a size difference. And actually the Lego one, because there's so much going on the inside, actually feels Just as heavy, if not slightly heavier than the original NES, so that is very awesome. Just taking a look at the buttons right here on the front, none of them are actually pressable or anything like that, just like the controllers, but what's really cool is this action feature right here. You can flip up the top just like the original NES, and not only can you do that, then you can take the cartridge that you made and you can actually stick it right in here, load it in, seal it down, and you are good to go. So that is just such a cool action feature, man. I really love this whole spring mechanism on the inside. I took some b-roll of how it actually works. It's a really cool mechanism, and I just love that you can do that. It's not a feature that they needed to add, but it's just so cool that they were able to do it, and it actually feels very similar to when you do it on an original NES, so that is awesome. So put that to the side, and now get into the TV. So this right here is just a little coffee table that you make for the TV. It's very simple, and you just place the TV right on top like so. There you go, that's how that looks, but just for the sake of space and keeping it in the frame, I am going to take the table and just kind of put it to the side for right now. But here is the TV, and this TV is actually very, very cool. So here is the action feature with here. You can see level 1-1 of Mario right there on the screen, and you have this little like lever right here, not like a lever, but kind of like a crank, and as you crank that, you will see Mario start to actually go through the level. Look at how awesome that is. That is such an amazing feature. It doesn't work as flawlessly or seamlessly as they made it look in the commercials. I mean, it still works pretty well, but you kind of just have to really get a good crank. So I'm really working it in right now. So that's the only thing with that. You do have some working knobs right here. Very cool. You got that old school sound right there, and these don't actually make noises or anything, but you can twist them if you wanted to. But just the details all throughout this TV are just phenomenal. Low tech right here on the bottom. You got this like speaker grill right here. So I will say the only issue I had with this build is that there's so many like individual one brick pieces that you have to do. Everywhere where you can see a line right here, this was a pain. This entire thing was just filled of a whole bunch of individual bricks, and that took some time. Definitely hurt my fingers, but I mean, it looks amazing once you have the final product done. I mean, that just looks incredible. So like I said, you got the speaker grill right here, and coming to the side is pretty plain. And then look at the detailing here on the back. You got the AV ports, the power ports right here, even this little sticker right here of like the TV specs that you would see. Awesome right there. And then you do have the antenna that can go all the way up, or if you're not using it or want to keep it out of the way, you can put it down and clip it right in there. And yeah, that is the TV. So there is the Lego NES, and overall it is an incredible build once you finally have everything together and see all the different features, from the TV playing the actual level to loading the cartridge into the NES and actually doing that spring-loaded feature of it locking into place and having the controller that you can plug in player 1 or player 2, wherever you want to put it. It is just phenomenal. The only thing that would set it over the top is if it came with some AV cables that you can connect the NES into the TV, but other than that, it is absolutely flawless. The only issue I have with it, and it's not really an issue, but the build was, it wasn't hard, but it was just very time consuming. Like I said, from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. that took, or I guess you want to say 10 p.m. because I did take a 1-hour break, but it took a ton of time. It's a great build if you want to like do a little bit here and there, but if you're trying to do the whole thing through, it is a very long build, but you do get your money's worth with it. Like I said earlier, this is like 2,600 pieces, so you definitely do get your money's worth with this. I spent the entire day doing it, but now that I have it finally done and complete, I cannot be any happier with it. I can't wait to get this displayed up on the shelf next to some of my video games, or just somewhere. I haven't even decided where I'm going to put it yet, but it makes such a great display piece. The build was very fun. There's so many little intricate things going on all throughout the inside of it that you don't really see after it's already built, but once you're building it, seeing the way all the gears kind of connect with each other and how everything kind of moves inside, and just all that is just really, really awesome. But overall, this was a great build. If you're a fan of video games, retro video games, or if you're just a fan of Legos in general, I definitely recommend that you pick this up. This did release this morning, so if it is still available, I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can purchase it if you want to. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. That link's in the description down below. I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. So as always, guys, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys next time.